So, good morning and welcome to this session of social media engagement. To be very precise, we shall meet APrIGF 2021. So, I'd like to say this session would probably be an informal session. I mean to say we'd have a casual talks. We will ask you questions. You can share experiences. So it's not in a formal pattern. If you have anything, please raise your hand, speak up. It's your session. So there are no definite format to it, and you guys can share it. And apart from that, please be visible. That's what I would like to say. Share your thoughts, share what is happening, so that way we can create engagement. So about this session, so I'll be your facilitator for this session. As when I say I'm a facilitator, I mean I am a facilitator. I will be more about facilitating the session, listening to you rather than talking more. So let's start. So today when we talk about virtual world, when we are virtual, when we cannot travel, social media has become a very powerful tool. Social media is something that we all contribute, and the content is there. What makes it more powerful is the documentation part. So now let's hear some views about what social media is, how you guys are using it, and then we will kind of like try to mix it with how we can create a better engagement in terms of community, in terms of how we can collaborate and create a better sense of voice. So that way it would be good. Can we have someone to share about their thought about social media? Anybody would like to talk about what social media is or how they are using it, or if they have any good experiences? Anyone? As I said, you guys are leaders. Come on, speak up. You guys are leaders. Just talk about what social media is or how you use it in your country. Just trying to get some perspective. Okay, I see someone. Yeah, sure. Who is this? Please say your name.
I'm Nirosha.
Okay.
I'm Nirosha from Sri Lanka. I'm attached to General Sir John Kutalavala Defence University. In the context of Sri Lanka and the social media, there's now not like those days. Nowadays, most of the people are using more addicted. I mean, like, it's not the correct word, addicted. The more people are using social media, like many people are with Facebook and other social media, and also the professionals like LinkedIn and all. And also when we talk about the social media, even kids allow, because with the pandemic situation, most of the people are used phones, mobile phones and computers. Those days actually in the schools we have one-to-one classroom sessions, but nowadays online teaching has already started, and almost most of the people are use the technology and the computers and all. Because of that, the communication mechanism between the teachers and the students are also via the social media. Because of that, the people are more using social media, and also the school children are also using some social media and communicate and pass the messages in the current pandemic situation. In addition to that, in the Sri Lankan context, we can remember some of the, because of the social media
I can't hear Nirosha, I think.
changes and all the election process. They now not like the rest of the people touching media. It is closed, and whatever the way that the people are more addicted. I mean, not addicted. Actually, usually it's a kind of a activity they are using in their day-to-day life. In Sri Lankan context, it's like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nirosha. So in the meantime, if you feel something is you can relate to, then you can please tweet to hash social meet APrIGF 2020 and APrIGF 2021. Please do that. And can we have one more friend? Anybody who's like interested in talking about what social media is, how you use it, or something different or anything? Okay, Mini.
Yeah. Hello, Shreedeep. This is Mini from India.
Right.
Yeah. I'm basic. I mean, you know that India is one of the largest users of social media. I'm basically a technologist, and so my area of interest was how the communication has been working in the social networks. And of late, I'm more looking at. I'm basically a I was working in the area of natural language processing. Of late, I'm more involved in looking for the fake news, because that has been, see, social media has got both the positive and negatives. We have seen so many positives, but of late we are really bothered about the kind of fake news that is happening in the social media. So that is one area of concern which I'm working on. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay. Thank you, Mini. And please do tweet as well. For the rest of the leaders, please do tweet. Can we have one more hand? And please, can we have one more person? Ahmed, can you speak? Please make it short.
Okay. Hello all. I am Ahmed Zia from Afghanistan. So one thing I want to mention is about the impact of social media in businesses. Especially here in Afghanistan, most of the businesses use social media as their first online channel to meet their customers. Here in Afghanistan, most of companies didn't have websites, but they use social media to sell their products. So social media have great impact, especially in Afghanistan. Here, Facebook is used by lots of business for selling their products to customers. So social media also have impact on businesses and on organizations.
Thank you, Ahmed. One more hand, I guess. One more leader, maybe a lady, somebody.
I can go if that's okay.
Sure.
Hello. I think I would agree with Minnie in how social media has its positives and its negatives. So one of the things that I find most interesting about social media in my country, I'm from
Your
Pakistan.
name, please.
My name is Amna. So one of the things that I find most interesting about social media in my country is the use of social media in mobilization for progressive movements. So you have a lot of, you have the mobilization for women's movement, students movement, and other sort of marginalized causes online. But then at the same time, you also have a lot of backlash, a lot of disinformation that is spreading about them online as well. So I think it goes both ways, and I think that's really interesting. For me personally, I guess I didn't really use social media a lot. I was a little hesitant, but I was always sort of interested in sort of being more vocal online. And I think I'm going to use this sort of fellowship program to, you know, finally get started on that.
So now let's have a, let's further talk about, things about social media. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have gone through the social media page of APrIGF, checked out the hashtag? And how many of you have gone through the hashtag of social meet APrIGF 2021? Because I have been posting that, like I've posted twice in that group. So have you guys gone through that hashtag? The mic is open. Please do share. Okay. So the main point about this is, a lot of the times what happens is, we kind of like ignore the fact that we don't do see the resources that are available, right? So if you click on, then to the, has anyone opened hashtag that I have sent? Okay, so all of you guys have been very busy. No worries, no need to worry. But the point is, the whole point is, when all these events are happening, when you are on a buzz, and when we are in a virtual world, especially when I say virtual, it is very hard to process all the information that is going on, and you have to be very alert. You have to be very alert with the information that is coming in, how you're going to process it, how you're going to put it in. So then and there, you have to be, you have to see, you have to check, you have to follow, and you have to, retain those information, because those information are the real-time information that are coming from the secretariat, from the people that want you to have those information and use it for your benefit. So that is a very crucial part. So this is the first lesson about, social, that you always have to be very attentive when you are attending any program online, virtual, when you are getting anything from people, that you have to be focused. Just keep an eye track about what is happening, what are people sending you in. So has anyone opened the link till now? The hashtag, I mean to say. So you guys have not? Please do speak. That there was a Tesla there. There was a Tesla car there. So we are planning to give you a Tesla car if you have liked that. I'm just joking. So the whole point was, we just have to be very attentive. So now let's talk about how we are going to create engagement. Right? So how we are going to create engagement for APrIGF 2021. So the first important thing that is, we say social media is powerful, but is social media powerful? Is social media powerful? I think social media is not powerful. Social media doesn't have that power. The power is with the people who use it, who share it, who make it a purpose and put their voice in. And that's what makes a difference. When we share it, when we communicate, when we collaborate with same issues, like the APrIGF, the sessions are there, right? The sessions are there, the things are happening. A few of our leaders have talked. If you could coordinate, if you could link, and if you could create a community engagement with it, that way we can have engagement. That way we can have a ripple. That way we can create. If anybody wants to share, please do speak. Yeah, the mic is open. Anyone?
Hi, I'd like to share.
About, sure.
Hello?
Please speak your name and then you can speak.
Okay, I'm Bong Makalalat from the Philippines. Well, more than 70% of our population are considered users of social media. As a matter of fact, the trolls were able to produce the recent president. So there is so much misinformation since about 2015, and it's still ongoing. Well, luckily, we have had dialogues from the civil society, have had a dialogue with Facebook, and they have removed a lot of these troll farms. and also other issues like, there's a proliferation of online sexual abuse and exploitation, especially of children. And luckily, we were able to work with Facebook, and they were able to remove some of those sites that were promoting them. And so I can say that social media has become also an alternative source of information to the mainstream and traditional media. However, it has also become a source of not just wrong information, but a cause for a great division in our country, politically speaking, because of the misuse and the abuse of social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong. So, any more ideas? Any more suggestions? Any more things to share, please?
Hello, it's Phil from Myanmar. I'd like to share some situation regarding what is happening in Myanmar regarding the social media. I agree with the point that people are using the social media to abuse the power, because recently, as you know, the Malachi was happening, and they try to use the social media to suppress the propaganda. On the other hand, we try to increase the disinformation to the social community.
Any more? Anybody wants to speak? So, any more suggestions? Yeah.
It's raining, so I need to.
Oh, sorry. So, Fo, can you come close to mic? You're not audible. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about the propaganda, right? People use the social media. On the other hand, the pro-democracy activists trying to use the social media for creating the movement, democracy movement, such as I use a hashtag like the Supreme Revolution, kind of like that. On the other hand, many disinformation lead to the people to some kinds of situation, hard situation. That's why or we try to. I was one of the individual fact checker. I tried a fact checker thing to filter the information. So using the social media is quite important for the people who are living in Myanmar, because they receive the information, especially using the social media. Especially Facebook. There are about over, I think, 27 million of people are using social media in Myanmar, and Facebook is the most popular social media in Myanmar. So we can stay without it, because we will be out of the social cycle if we don't use the social media. For that reason, I need to use the social media for communication. On the other hand, I try to reduce my screen time because the news, because of the Facebook algorithm, they lead me to some kinds of mental illness, such as and causes the anxiety because of the bad news. Many bad news appearing into my account. I think that's about my experience. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Fo. So, any more people who want to speak? Please, mic is open. It is your session. So, Okay. Yeah, Sarwaharan. Yeah, you can speak. Unmute
Hello,
your mic.
everybody. It's Warren
Swaran.
from Fiji. I was actually a fellow last year as well, so I'm absolutely delighted to take part in this year's APrIGF as well. The issues that I feel around social media, at least. So in Fiji, we have a population of about 950,000 people. So in that much of population, about 600,000 have access to smartphones. And now with the pandemic lurking around, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to go away for anytime soon. But the issue we currently have is that not everybody is included. And in order to continue as an economy, we need everybody to be included. And at the same time, it contradicts with the basic right. I mean, what if there's somebody who doesn't want the social media world? On the same note, recently, well, I'm working as an academic. So recently I've been talking to some of my students, some of my industry partners, and they are saying the moment if you want to be happy these days, you just have to keep social media off, because the moment you switch it on, the moment you go up to any of those platforms, you just get to hear depressing news. So I think we just, I mean, as a people, we just have not been introduced or inducted to social media properly. Because when we were small, I mean, when we go to school, we learn about the traffic lights, we learn about the basic ground rules, for safety. But that has not been made compulsory in our communities, especially the Asia Pacific region. So inclusion is one thing. The other thing is intellectual property. People have started to think of social media as Google and Wikipedia. And on the same note, everything that's there becomes God's gospel, figuratively speaking. So those are some of the issues that we see around the Pacific. But there is, well, obviously, there's a handful of people who are working towards eradicating those issues. So I'm really looking forward to the sessions in APrIGF. I have been hashtagging, but not the social meat one. So definitely we'll start doing that soon. Thank you.
Okay, Swaran, let me cut you and ask you a question. You have been a previous fellow. So what do you think we should do on social media so that your ideas, your thoughts, your engagement are more visible to the world, and your visibility is there? So can you say something about what you're planning to do for this APrIGF 2021?
See, another thing that we've seen recently is the trends. It's very important for us to assess the trends that are out there in social media. And let's not forget that what we see on social media now and the type of trends, the type of scalability that ISPs need to have now is way more than what it used to be 2 years ago. So I think when we talk about engagement on social media, it also needs to resonate with the ordinary people. So if I'm talking about the entire population of my country, for example, what does me attending a particular session, what does it mean to them, and what benefit is it going to give to them? Or is it just another, or am I just going to be another travel gypsy who gets on a flight? Not that I can do it this time. I'd love to go to Nepal, but anyway. So I think it's very important that when people see that we have put up a hashtag, social meet APrIGF, then they need to know what exactly is APrIGF. And I must say that this year I see a lot of difference in the way that it's being coordinated. Last year, I had a few blank moments, so I had to keep asking questions. I'm happy that this year we have smaller groups and more interaction. I feel that the organization, the organizing community has done a fabulous work this year. So I feel like, for example, any session that we attend, it's very important to have a look at what APrIGF is, go back to our applications when we applied for the program. What were the things that we were trying to achieve? What were the objectives? And now that we have we have this fortunate blessing, I'd say, because we got selected in so many different applications that may have come around from the world. And then there were 23 participants. So I think we don't just represent our country, we also represent our regions. So it's very important to draw a bridge between what the issues in the countries are and how APrIGF, the learning from APrIGF, can help us alleviate from those issues. So what were the gaps in learning? What were the gaps in society? Or how do you think ICT can help bridge those gaps. It's very important to create a link between the technology and the real world problems. And for that, we need to start talking not just about technology, but also about what our issues are. And the disparities are a lot, even in
Thank you. Thank you. That was a very Thank you. Love that speech. You know, like you were on fire. That's like all these engagements, social media things. You know, you guys are leaders. You guys have to, you know, shape us. You guys have to show us our path. So apart from the things that we have, the values and the missions, you guys are our leaders. You guys are our social media leaders. You know, ambassadors. So you guys have to, you know, voice your issue, relate it with the things that are happening in APrIGF sessions, you know, spread out, talk, be yourself, right? So any more, if somebody could talk about what they want to do or what they have experienced, that would be great. So I see a name, Brinda. Brinda, could you speak about what you're planning to do during the session?
Yeah, could you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Hello?
Loud and clear.
Yes, great. So I think I'm just going to bring in my learnings from the Youth IGF from last year. So where I was selected as a fellow, and coincidentally, I was also on the organizing committee. So I think what Swaran said, and I completely agree with her, like when we are posting about let's say a particular session on social media, what are we learning from it and how are we connecting that to our context, to our current context? I think that's going to bring us a lot of clarity as opposed to just posting about, oh, this is the session, this is what is going on, and just bringing in your perspectives to help others in your circle, in your network to understand better what APrIGF does, the whole IGF forum in general. So I think that'll be helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Brinda. That was quite good, and I think you know, like the most important thing is we have to collaborate among the you know, the fellows as well. That way we can create a bigger voice, because Asia is lacking voice. We have to collaborate because there are so many countries, so many you know, issues, even in the same topic, and every issue is individual. Every leader is individual. So thank you for that.
Agreed. Thank you.
So can we have, yeah, thank you, Brenda. Some more people talking? Maureen here. So could we have Maureen to say few words about you know, her engagement in APrIGF?
Thank you, Shreedeep. A most unexpected request there. Yes, I've been involved with APrIGF for a number of years, and I must admit, the culprit is Cheryl Langdon, who sort of like got me engaged in it, and she, you know, she has been a mentor to me during my time on the APrIGF in those early days. So I'm very thrilled to be able to be a part of this session and passing on some of that expertise and knowledge that I've actually sort of like gathered from the experiences that people have actually brought to the APrIGF. It's just been amazing. I really hope that people who are part of this fellowship group, that you actually stick with us. You know, we really do need. I mean, the 4 people that I've got are just amazing. You know, their backgrounds, just the sort of like the experience that they will bring to this network. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Really neat to see Swaran from the Pacific. Sort of like here, it's a real pleasure to have someone from the Pacific, and down under, of course, helping Cheryl and I out. You know, I would really encourage everybody to, you know, like really make the most of the experience that you get from the APrIGF, but also that you, you know, stay with us and help us create next year's APrIGF as well. Thank you, Shreedeep.
Thank you, Maureen, for that wonderful message. That's the key. That's what I'm saying. We don't have any hard and fast rule. You guys are the leaders. The young leaders that are uprising. You have the issues. We don't have the issues. We are here to help you. So speak up. Use your mind. Open up. Use technology. Use social media. Be yourself. So that way it's gonna it's gonna be very big, as well as we would be able to collaborate in a more efficient way. So any more few more leaders. I guess we need more people to speak than me talking. So let's have few more leaders talking. Can we have one more? Okay, I see Karisma from Nepal. Can you talk? Okay. Then let's have one more fellow. Why are just step up and speak about your engagement or what you want to do in social media, or anything that feels to you that you want to do. As I've told you, I'm a facilitator. I'm just here to listen, and I'll be giving you some tips as well. So
okay. I'm also Phil from Myanmar. I would like to share some tips I use to promote the events and activities using social media regarding the internet governance. I used to share my experiences, and I used to share the events regarding internet governance and other advocacy work using Messenger as well as Facebook page. Sometimes, actually, I initiated a small youth media local youth media page. So I used to share some opportunity that the local young people can grab that opportunity by seeing the post on my page. That's why. Otherwise, I used to share the activities and events through the youth network, like South Asia Youth Network, which are located on the Facebook group, not page. I try to engage with them by reposting, resharing the original post to the youth network. I think that kind of engagement will help to promote the APrIGF as well as the other advocacy work to stay engaged with the people. The weakness of that kinds of engagement is like not engaging with the young people who don't know anything about it. That is a weak point. That's why I try to share the activities and events through friend to friend by using the messenger. Sometimes I used to share using the university group because I want them to engage. I want them to participate in some kinds of activity, advocacy activity regarding internet governance. That's my EC.
Yeah, thank you, Fo. So it is very important, when you are a fellow, when you are a fellow, there is a lot of opportunity. Right now people are typing there in the chat. I would suggest is not just to type in the chat. Start tweeting. Start using the hashtags. Start writing blogs. What that will do is that will start creating engagement. And if you know or not, everything in social media is documented. I mean to say, it is there. Anybody can see it, right? And the community is, it's not a big community. All of us, there are people from ICANN, there are people from ISOC, there are people from this, that. We all are here. So we all are seeing that. So that way, what you can do is, if you are writing about your issues, if you're not, if you have a certain problem, challenges, that gets picked up. People are watching, people are tweeting. And that way, even you are creating opportunity for yourself, right? Because you are networking, you are being visible. And when things are visible, people do see that. So now I would like to ask Cheryl, is she there? No, Cheryl is not there. About what's his perspective on social media? Oh, Cheryl, sorry. So Cheryl.
I am definitely here. I'm always lurking. Shreedeep, you should know that. If you look behind a cupboard or a door, you're bound to find me somewhere. Okay. My attitude to social media is as an ancient one. I use it. I don't overly use it. I don't use it heavily. I use it to push out people of like mind and in my feeds might be interested in. In non-internet world, I also do some blogging on certain passions and things that I have, but that's kind of separate. But, I don't do the whole TikTok thing, although I do have an account and I do watch, what some other people are doing from time to time, but that one drives me batty. But anyway, I got to be there, so I am. I do certainly rely on professional ones like LinkedIn a lot, but also I rely a lot on things like Facebook and Twitter. Twitter in particular, to keep my finger on a pulse from a number of interests I have from people whose opinions I trust. So I know I'm getting trusted material. And also I use Facebook basically because if I didn't, I'd never know what my family was doing. Pretty simple. That's it.
Thank you, Cheryl. Now I would like to request Naveed to speak few words about what social media engagement and how fellows can create better opportunity for themselves. Naveed, can we have Naveed?
For putting me here, it's not expecting, but anyhow. So
putting
first of all, before I start, I would. I expect the fellows did receive a welcome email from my side yesterday about the course that starts on 2nd August. So I've seen that some of you have already registered for it. And those who have not, I'll request you to please register. And looking forward to the session on 2nd August. Now about the social media, look, I'm also old. I'm like in my 40s. I'm like 41 years. So with the passage of time, things have matured. I see those all young faces, and I recall, 10 years ago, I was like really posting everything that I'm doing on Facebook. Even like I'm in a coffee shop, I'll put it on Facebook. So I can see that excitement. But with the passage of time, what I've understood is it is a very important tool. It gives you voice, and that voice actually is the key. How you want to broadcast your voice. Is it for the positive change to the society and your peers and people you don't even know, or you just want to just put something out there just for the sake of it? So I think that's a balance that you really want to have, and that's what I have learned in my experience. Like Cheryl was saying, I now use LinkedIn for my professional commitments. Twitter is something that I'll use again for my professional stuff. Facebook is just more social thing where I'll know what my friends and family are doing. I'll just give you an example of a real incident that happened with me, and that will illustrate about the power of social media and how it can bring change. This goes like 6 years ago when a person in Pakistan who's a person with a visual impairment, Muhammad Shabir, I tweeted something about W3C, which is the World Wide Web Consortium, and they talk about accessibility, how the web can be accessible for persons with disabilities. So I tweeted a small article that I was working on, and I got a comment in that tweet from this guy from Pakistan. And then from there, we started a movement inside Pakistan, which actually resulted in a huge policy change, where government of Pakistan eventually had a special policy document for persons with disabilities, and that's a story that I always tell to people about the power of social media. You know, it all depends on how you take your voice and how you use it. And I think this APrIGF fellowship is one of those platforms where you people as the next generation leaders can use this voice, share your opinion, and create a positivity in the society. I have seen people using social media during the time of COVID to help each other, even for ventilators, you know. So it's, I understand there are always two sides of the coin. It all depends on you on which side you want to be. And I think APrIGF is one of those platforms where you can really use it to bring up your voice and appeal to bring change to make a more globally connected, secure, trustworthy, and open internet for everyone. Back to you, Shreedeep.
Thank you, Navid. That was a phenomenal story. That's what I was like looking for, you know, inspiration, motivation. You know, that's how you change. Smaller things make an impact. Smaller things, you know, we coming from, you know, we have been there. We have been the leaders. Now it's the turn of the youth. You guys have the tools. You guys have, you know, the platforms, Clubhouse, TikTok, whatever. We are new to it. We do not have any, you know, focused ideas about such platforms. You guys can use it. You guys are ambassadors. So you guys have to think, use, and you know, that way, you know, the more engagement you are creating is the more visibility that is happening. So that way, you know, you are creating your own opportunity. So now let's have a few more people talk about issues. Can we have Seru Niku? Seru, can you speak about, you know, what are you planning to do with social media, or, you know, if you have any ideas, or if you have any stories to share? Okay, then I would move on to Samik. Yeah, Samik Kharin.
Hi, Shreedeep. I'm not a very avid user of social media. I try to avoid it, but I get my information from there mostly. As someone said, like, if it's the right voice and what voice you want to voice, right, that is a good channel to get your voice to the people. And for me, like personally, I was expecting to write a blog, which is more my kind of thing, and how I want to disperse my information or my experiences. And I know, like, not many people are into reading blogs and stuff, but I'm sure it's a niche in itself, and we'll give more information, and, you know, like, it's more deliverable for me as well. Like, that's my comfort zone of writing blogs and not being very excessively using social media for everything happening. You know, like, I would like to make a legitimate post of like few hundred words. That will be my engagement, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Samik. Thank you, Samik, for bringing the different perspective. You know, as you say, you know, things that you can do is what we expect. So, you know, as long as you have a engagement, that is good. So thank you. Can we have one more speaker? Huang Yenta. Can you speak about social media or what you're planning to do? Huang? Okay. I don't think she's...
I want to share, if I may.
Sure. Please state your name.
Yeah, I'm Unggul from Indonesia. Yeah, I think speaking about the social media is yeah, it is a space that we can share our opinions and express our ideas and also our freedom to assembly in online. However, like many cases that usually civil society face in the social media era is we cannot like nakedly or simply say what we thought and what our opinion because some you know uh, the government and maybe the third party they keep an eye on us. So it is like you know when we use the social media we have to use it like very like you know we have to deal with some regulations we know you know in the social media platform they have like community guidelines and whatsoever, but most of the cases is that the government they use that another law or regulations to uh, yeah they keep an eye with the activists. And also this is also interesting that not only activists but also the civil servants. Yeah, because as we know, yeah, this is the like the our race become a civil society organization members or activists. But for the civil servants, they also cannot use their rights to like to express themselves. Like you know, they have to divide themselves, like being like a civil servant and being like a humans. So it is. I think this is also issue that we have to address in to what kind of space that is social media is, because you know like every this is our rights to say, yeah, this is our digital rights, yeah. And also about the this is how we communicate in this era. So this is kind of like issues that we have to also address in governance. I mean the internet governance. So I think it's interesting for me. Yeah, it's one of my I think the issues that I have to say right now. Thank you, Shreedeep.
Yeah, thank you, Unuglu, for that different perspective. You certainly have to be smart when you are from Asia and when your government is watching. So, but still, you know, like it's a platform. It's an open platform where you can collaborate, network. The most important thing is with social media is you can also network with people. So that is like, you know, I have seen this because let me share my experience with you. When I was new, when I was a newcomer in ICANN, you know, I was very much you know, very much into social media, and I was able to communicate with a lot of the leaders from ICANN in social media. So I had no fellowship at that time, but I was able to communicate with them in social media with the hashtags, with the official hashtags. So that way I could, you know, talk about issues. I could reach out to them. So, you know, there are other opportunities with social media as well, where you can collaborate, network. So that way also there is a greater prospect. So can we have few more, few
Hello.
more ideas? Yeah,
Hello.
sure, sure.
Hello. My name is Hoàng Yến Tạ. I'm from Vietnam, and I'd like to share my own point of view regarding my engagement and my community engagement and associated with social media as well. Yeah, social media is one of our biggest like innovation of humans. Yeah, it brings a lot of opportunities for us to connect everyone around the world. Yeah, make the world is flatter. We can talk with anyone, share ideas, and update the latest information. But it also creates so many challenges for human right now. How to govern it, how to govern social platforms, like the accuracy, how we verify the accuracy of information posted on social media, how we can control control technology crime. I think so. And it's time for legal framework to be issued and to govern the social media. And one of, as a youth, as the young leader in our community, I and my friends and my local internet governance forum also create the webinar to share internet governance and knowledge. We create for post sharing knowledge, and it's the time also for the youth come to share their point of view and discuss with others from multiple point of view. But we think something more in organized framework, and it's the time for me to come here to learn from your point of view, learn from international friends, and I think I can gain a lot of experience and more understanding of internet governance here. Thank you for your listening. Do you get any trouble with my connectivity?
Fine.
Okay.
It was very clear, Hong.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hong. Thank you, Hong. That would no problem. No, the thing that developing, the next billion is coming from. We have to share. We have to talk with people. Now, can we have Sabrina? Sabrina is there. So can we have Sabrina about her perspective about social media engagement in community and other things? Yeah, Sabrina.
Hi, Shreedeep. Hi, everyone. I think on the one hand, everybody recognizes the great importance and the value that social media has, but I also love how from people who have spoken up today, such as Samik, it's also a great reminder that there are many other ways to also use the internet, and it really depends on individual comfort level and where they're at and their own local context, whether social media works for them, whether it's something else in some other form, whether it's a blog, whether it's an online podcast and so forth. So I think it's great that while we think about social media and tackle the issues in and around social media and the impact of all of that, we also don't forget that there are the other ways on the internet that also cater to lots of other ways that people use it. And I think the great thing about the way the internet is that everybody gets to have the freedom to express themselves in the manner that they feel the most comfortable, whether it's through a social media channel or whether it's through perhaps writing a blog or talking on a podcast and so forth. So I would love to see more ideas or comments and thoughts in and around a really broad conversation on how all these things can kind of fit together and grow the community through all these different platforms in different countries and places. So yeah, that's just some of my initial thoughts. Thanks so much, Shreedeep.
Yeah, thank you, Sabrina. That's the point. That's the point. The main point is I have been given a 3 minutes time alert, but we have to wrap this. And you have said it all that, we come from different backgrounds, different places, and we use different technology, different, medias. So it's upon you, please use what you can, voice your issues, collaborate, network. The more you are visible, the more we can communicate the issues, bring your, relate your issues with the APrIGF that are happening. You guys are fellows, you guys are leaders. So what we expect from you is to, stand up, to talk about issues, just don't feel that communication is not an issue. We speak, or that things should not matter. And that's how we are going to change the internet. That we will build. Having said that, before anyone wants to speak, the mic is open. Please do speak. I think there is no one, but still, I had seen one name. Alan, would you like to speak?
Hi everyone, this is Alan from India. So since there is constraints of time, I will just quickly try and say what I would like to do in APrIGF. So regarding social media engagement, I believe because I've worked with Youth IGF India last year and the year before that. So social media engagement should be something which should be, which should lure people into whatever we are trying to say, rather than expressing whatever we want over the internet. We should be able to connect to the persons who would love to engage more into the IG community. So because it doesn't make any sense if we are creating, bombarding with a lot of posts and nobody is engaging in it. If we need to engage people more into the IG space, I believe we need to sell our idea to the right people, and we should point it towards the right persons. I mean the youth, who we need to get engaged with. So yeah.
Thank you, Alan. Christine, you have the floor.
Okay, thanks. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. Yes, I think it's time for us to wrap up for today's gathering. Thank you so much, Shreedeep, and other mentors and fellowship committee to contribute, and all the fellows who have joined. I think I would need to wrap up now, and I just want to remind all the fellows of the social media engagement work that I've sent earlier. I noticed that some of you might have questions about it, and I have not yet replied, but I will do that as soon as possible. I just want to remind you all that to send your photo and a short, like a 30-word introduction, or just a sentence, a short paragraph of your point of view to me, so that we can put it out on social media and introduce all of you to our community. I hope after today's gathering, you can submit those materials to me by next Monday. And please do keep posting about APrIGF and your experience on social media. I think we'll skip next Friday for another, but we may set up another social for the week after next. I'll keep you posted on mailing list and also on the chat group that we have. Is there any further questions for me? Yeah, you can always send email to me, or just send me a message on Signal or WhatsApp. I will try to respond as soon as possible. If there's no any other business, then I think we will have to end the call today. Sure.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Shreedeep. You did a great job, mate. Bye for now. Just saying thank you and goodbye, and special thanks to Shreedeep. That's all. You did a great job.
Yep. Thank you, Shreedeep, and everyone. Thank you. Have a nice weekend, you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.